In this section, we're going to go over the looping command the for loop. Now, for loops are the second type of loop command that we're going to go over in Python, and it's a pretty powerful loop command because we can iterate through various data types like lists, strings, dictionaries, and tuples. So let's look at how we can iterate through a string, for instance. Say we want to loop through the string stdccd, right? How will we do that? Well, we type in for, we'll set up a variable letter in sdccd. We want to loop and store each string character into the variable letter. And then we want it to print out that variable, or that variable letter. All right. And so what this piece of code is saying is for every letter in sdccd, is going to store that letter in the variable letter and then print it out. So let's see what happens when we run this code. It prints out sdccd. Pretty cool, right? So let's take this one step further and see what happens if we use a list and iterate through that list. And say in that list we wanted to store the various campuses in the SDCCD district. All right. So let's say we set up a list that's named campuses. And set that equal to city, Mesa, and Miramar. And let's just focus on that list of 3 for now. And say we want to say for every campus in campuses, we want to print campus. All right, so see what happens when we run this code. It prints out every element in the list campus in order. All right, so let's try to stretch this out a little bit more, see what else we can do and integrate some things that we learned in the previous section. But before we do that, let's look at a couple different features with for loops. So let's go ahead and put this piece of code aside. And say we want to loop through a range of numbers, right? So say we want to just, for instance, say for index in a range, and let's say that range is 10, or the number is 10, and we want to go ahead and print index. And what this will do is it'll set a range between 1 to 10 and print out or sorry 0 through 10 and print out that range. So it prints out 0 through 9, right? And so let's go ahead and let's play with this a little bit. Say we want to say a range between let's say 7 and 20. It'll print out a range between 7 and 20. And so let's go ahead and loop through this. And as you can see, it'll loop through the number 7 all the way up to the number 19. So let's use this principle to loop through this list. And say we want to get the length of this list, right? So all we have to do is figure out print uh, the length of campuses. And all that will do is get us a list of, or just give us the number 3, which is the number of elements in the list campus. All right. So what we can do with these concepts that we now have is number the campuses in SDCCD. All right. So we'll start off by setting up a integer I equal to 0. Okay. And then what we'll do is say for a campus in range length campuses, we want it to increment I 1 each every time that it loops through this for loop. So again, from the last module, I plus equal 1 means I is equal to I plus 1, right? And then what we wanted to do is print I as a string, and then we wanted to print campuses indexed off the campus. And so think about what that will look like. So let's go ahead and run this program. And here it runs 1 city, 2 Mesa, 3 Miramar. So now that we've gone through for loops a little bit, play a little bit with it on your own. It's a very powerful tool. In the next module, or sorry, in the next section, we're going to go ahead and go over some different concepts in conditional statements, particularly exception handling and how to manipulate these conditional statements to create two-dimensional lists and other types of matrices.